And the next award, here we go. We're going from manager of the season to flop of the season. Now, some of our nominations, here we go. Flop of the season, we have Paul Pogba. We have Federico Chiesa. We have Charles de Ketelaere, of course.
Yeah.
Joe Spagnoli coming in with Harry Winks. Oh, it's a little bit harsh. A little bit harsh on Harry there. I think Curva Mundial Pod with Serginho Dest. Such a flop that I forgot he was in Serie A, so he could automatically win it, I think. But Adam, were any of your nominations mentioned there?
So yes, one was Charles de Ketelaere. I think he cannot escape how poor that season has been for him, especially given the hype around what he done with Bruges, hot prospects, but he hasn't really managed to switch it on. However, I'm going to discount it purely because I feel like he's a young lad that clearly needs time to adapt. I felt like maybe it wasn't the right environment for him in Milan as well. Potentially he needed to go on a loan spell somewhere just to get some football time. I think that's what he needed. He just needs some football time where, a place like Empoli where he could maybe just not worry about the high pressure environment of the team. Especially, I think we've got to remember, although Bruges are a big side in that Belgium league, nothing compares to Milan. Milan is so much more bigger, and like that environment, it takes a certain mentality. So I suspect that was part of it. And also, don't forget, he's learning different styles, different philosophies here. Pioli obviously did try his best to give him a chance as well. He never gave up on him. So I think there's a determination there to show you that actually there is a prospect there. And I think that's a bit harsh. But Rory, I'm going to put it out there. My flop of the season, Andrea Belotti. He wasn't mentioned in any of those lists, but he needs to be discussed.
Very good shout. Before we jump on Belotti, I do need to say, De Ketelaere, I do think he was a little bit of a victim of the price tag as well. Like, because Milan did spend a lot of money on him because he was a prospect. But then with Milan being quite strapped for cash, they can't spend that much money on a player and not play them. They can't then ship them out on loan. And I think you're right. He needed that loan move. He needed that, not so much pressure on winning every game, but just getting used to the league and stuff. But I do think now, so I think I'd still have him on that flop list, slightly unsympathetically. But Andrea Belotti is a huge, huge shout. I think he's come in with big Serie A pedigree. Always scored a lot of goals at Torino, a lot of penalties, but always scored a lot of goals at Torino. But he was the main man. The whole team was fitted to him. It was all tailored towards getting him to score goals. At Roma, it has just not worked, has it? Nothing about that has worked. I feel like maybe the manager, there's been a clash there and they just don't, Mourinho's not able to get the best out of him. The fact he's not the number one man, maybe that's part of it, and he knows he's second string to Abraham. Maybe it's the fact that the whole team isn't built around him, but I think it all stood out to me, and I know it's not Serie A, but in the Europa League final, when he came on against Sevilla, it looked like a man whose confidence had not been destroyed. It was just never there. Like, it just looked Spagnoli at the time. He was 30 seconds behind every ball. And I just think all season he's kind of looked like that. And I think there's a lot of mitigating factors, but you still can't get beyond the fact that they're paying him a lot of money. They brought him in to score goals and he didn't get one. Like, your feelings on Belotti?
Yeah. Much like you've kind of shared already, he comes in with a lot of disappointment when you consider the backdrop of what he could be, the wages that he's on. And I think the other bit, Rory, he spent a lot of time in that summer where he didn't sign up to a club. He was waiting for a specific move that suited him. Now, I appreciate Roma was that club potentially in the end, but actually there was rumours that Atalanta were in for him. There was rumours that, Inter were kind of considering him. There was a number of clubs in Italy that were prepared to sign him, but he decided in the end that Roma was that project. Now, I think there's a bit of naivety on his side as well, because don't forget, Dybala was always linked to Inter, but then obviously when he signed for Roma, that was it. And that was before Belotti was announced as well. But like you say, I think what's most disappointing is he hasn't even tried some of those games. Like, he looks like, you said it yourself, like, it's not a case of he's shot of like confidence. It's just doesn't seem like he's there. It doesn't seem like he's got the right frame of mind to be at the club. And the fact that he hasn't even really contributed, I think, says a lot about him. So, yeah, for me, he's on that kind of same wavelength as Sergino Dest when we're talking about it. Mm-hmm. You're kind of thinking like, Jesus, did he actually turn up this season? Because if you look at the record books, you go, what happened to him? What was it? Was it injuries? And we know it's not really injuries. It's just that he didn't really perform, and it justifies what Jose is thinking. And I think when you had that conversation with Joe and about potentially ending his contract, I can't see any reason why Roma or Jose would entertain it. I think they would look at it and go, what has he brought? He's nothing to the table. So I think he's going to be lucky if he gets anyone in Serie A at this rate really going for him. I mean, it's really difficult. But yeah, is there any other thoughts on your lists in terms of like flop of the season?
Well, I think we've kind of decided it's Belotti. I think I was going to go for Pogba, but it feels a bit harsh considering it's been injuries that have kept him back. But
yeah,
he's still been a huge disappointment, but I still don't think he's been the biggest disappointment at Juve, and injuries haven't helped. So I think I'm going to say it has to be Belotti, really, doesn't it? It has to, from what we expected and from what everyone expected to what we got. Like, I picked him up for Fantacalcio because I thought just in case. Yeah. And he has not even been on my bench. I've just forgotten I had him. So yeah, I think, unfortunately, La Gallina, Andrea Belotti, you get our flop of the season. Commiserations or congratulations. Sorry about that.